down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, welcome to another exciting edition of Talk Bloody to Me. I'm Matt.
And I'm Brizzy.
And this week we got two brand new movies to talk about. Well, they're both in theaters now, but one has gotten a lot of attention, a lot of press. We're going to be talking about Sting and In a Violent Nature. And In a Violent Nature has been getting a lot of press about how gross and bloody and disgusting it is. And Breezy and I were able to see it. And Breezy, what are some of your first impressions of it?
God. First it's like, okay, like he's walking in nature, the killer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like there's absolutely no music in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Not a one. But after watching the whole, like the movie itself, I think like the whole nature scene,
Mm-hmm.
nature sounds goes well with the
Mm-hmm.
movie,
Yep.
but it is very damn slow.
Yes, exactly. So the premise of the movie is that it's kind of like Friday the 13th, but his name's Johnny, and he was a kid that was killed in a tragic accident, and he comes back to life and is murdering people. But the entire story is like centered around the killer. So it starts with him basically waking up. You see what causes him to come to life. And then everything you see in the movie is kind of in the immediate vicinity of the killer. Um, so there's some cool things like he's laying there and they think he's dead, and right as soon as the second they walk away, you see him move or get up or start breathing or something. Lots of cool stuff.
Yep.
But because of that, there's not really a soundtrack. It's a lot of stomping through the woods. It's a lot of crunch, crunch,
Mm.
crunch, crunch,
And it's like
crunch.
a heavy crunch too.
Yeah. So it builds the tension a little bit, but it's also kind of slow. And if there was like a little bit of soundtrack to go with it, like the old Jaws soundtrack, that
If they even add like sounds like just like a little bit, I think that would take away like the movie.
right,
That's what I
true.
was saying. That's what I was saying. Like the nature sounds itself goes well with
Mm-hmm.
the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been reading up on what other people have been seeing since they've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of 50-50. Some
Yeah.
people hate it and some people just love it. Me, I will not see it again. It's too damn fucking boring.
Yeah. I what you say
I
it's
mean,
about 50-50. I think it's about 50-50 for me, is in that I really like that they were creative and that they focused on the killer and that they tried something new, and there's a couple of creative killing scenes, but man is it slow at times. It's just like,
yeah,
ooh.
I do agree. It was like more so focused on like the killer. It's a little bit different. It's
Mm-hmm.
different, like percep say different vibes on like the killer itself versus like they always lean towards like the victims.
Mm-hmm.
This movie particularly leans on like the killer,
Exactly.
the whole scene, or should say
Yep.
the whole movie. But
So whereas a different movie like a Friday the 13th follows the kids around and Jason occasionally pops up in the background and attacks or jumps out from behind something, in this movie it's the killer is walking around, and every once in a while the kids will be there like, there he is, get him, or something like that. And but
yeah,
what there was a couple really amazing killing sequences though, I think.
I think there was only one.
Only one? Yeah,
Yeah,
probably only one. There was one really cool killing and then one moment I really liked. But go ahead, tell us the one you liked.
the one that I like was when the blonde girl was on top of uh the mountain type deal,
Yep.
and he comes and takes this hook and just shoves it in, turns it. It was like how the fuck? And she's actually still living through all this
Yeah.
until it comes right back out.
So
So you can explain like all that. It was
the
like
the
kind of
logistics of
confusing.
it.
It was kind of confusing, like I should have just that whole scene. I want to watch it over again to see like, okay, he did that way, this way, or the okay. So maybe you can explain like
so,
step
so
by step.
The woman, and as usually with our podcast, there's spoiler alerts, but the woman is standing on the edge of a mountainside, so she can't run away from him or else she'll go over the cliff. So her back is to him. I'm using my fingers for those of you watching on YouTube. And he puts the hook through her back all the way through her chest and then pulls it out, hooks the hook into her head, and then pulls the chain so her head goes back around and through the hole that he's shoved the hook through it. So she kind of he pulls her like... through herself, basically. Yeah. It's really messed up.
Yeah, that is messed up, but I actually kind of like that. That's actually like really detailed.
Yeah, that's someone had to sit down and think about that. Someone they should probably lock up, but still, someone had to sit down and think.
Right, but it's still like that one is actually really damn good.
Yeah. There's the guy that gets paralyzed and then he kind of puts him on the wood splitter. That's it's not really gory but it's just sort of like watching it and you know what's going to happen and it just kind of happens so slowly and you're just kind of like
yeah. And we're actually just like sitting in the movie theater. I'm like, oh, we were both thinking, oh, he's going to go split right in half, and he does not.
We thought he was going to do an Art the Clown and split him up the middle from the crotch, but no, he doesn't. He just takes his head off. But
yeah, heads like at the head and the arm and
yeah,
like a portion of his leg, I believe.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, just split it right down the fucking crotch.
Yeah. The cock, the crotch, it's all the same.
Yeah, whatever.
And they explain the storyline a little bit of why he's attacking and what happened and what created it and stuff. But I think probably my favorite part of the entire movie is he's standing there and you can hear the two teenagers or survivors talking about their plan to kill him. And he's like, okay, I'm going to distract them. You set up the trap, this. And he's like, I'm going to come back. I promise you, I will come back. And he goes to the hey, you, and wham, axe to the face, like instant, like he lasts like a second and a half. That was the end of their plan. Like, so much for the plan.
Yeah.
And then he just sits there.
I do like the killer's like the whole like costume.
Yeah, when they first show his face, like it's about halfway into the movie where they first show his face close up and clear for the first time, and it's really detailed and really cool looking. Yeah.
I don't really like the face. I just like the mask, like that scuba diver type.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that scene.
Okay, I kind of liked his face. I liked his clear eye, his milky looking eyes, and his teeth, his exposed teeth showing in the front, and I thought he looked cool.
Right.
But that mask is really cool. That's a cool mask.
So do you like really, really like it? Do you really hate it or what?
I think I'm 50-50. I think I give it a 5 out of 10 because I liked that it was clever and cool and had interesting moments. But like you, I really don't think I need to see it again. I think like it would be the kind of thing I'd get like on a DVD or streaming and just fast forward to the good parts and skip about 70% of the movie.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I I want to give it like 4. Because it's just like so boring, slow, and there's only one killing scene that I like.
Right.
And I mean, it's not so much disgusting, like how people say, like it's not really hyped up to be. And usually Shudder movies are kind of like that.
Yeah.
However,
they don't live up to the hype.
Yeah. And however, I did looked at Against You and you're like kind of like sleeping.
Yeah. Yep.
I looked over, I'm like, he's sleeping.
What was what was the part where the guy next to you, remember he had like his head, like he was covering his eyes?
So the guy next to me was like doing like this and like that. I'm like, I hope Ducati doesn't fucking throw up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing we really need to talk about with this movie is that they hyped it up so much that it was like, I saw multiple news articles about people were throwing up in the theater because it was so disgusting. And so it wasn't that bad. I mean, there's one really creative, the hook killing is really creative and really cool.
I think maybe it's that scene or like the deer carcass.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I said, I'm gonna throw up, and you're like, don't you dare.
Yeah, don't you fucking dare. No.
So anything else you want to talk about in a violent nature before we move on?
No, not really. I mean, there's not really much to talk about. Well, like we said, it's just pretty much a killer walking through the woods, and then there's like what, maybe like 5 killing scenes,
Yeah.
and what actually one good one.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Pretty much. That's about it. So
Yeah.
in a violent nature. Um, moving on to a movie we actually liked a lot more, is Sting. What's Sting about, Breezy?
Sting is kind of like acrophobia, but I think that's how you pronounce it. But
Arachnophobia.
yeah, arachnophobia. It's a long word. It's a
It
tongue twister,
is.
kind of.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah. So this like teenage girl gets like this spider, and
Mhm.
she like pretty much like holds and babies it, and she pretty much this big spider becomes really fucking huge.
Yeah.
I mean, huge.
Yup.
And the killing scenes on that one was epic.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like a like what is it, like an asteroid or something, and it's making a
Yeah.
like a cold snap, and like I don't know, a chunk of it broke off, and apparently there was alien spider eggs on it. And so this spider, it starts off small, but it gets big, and it has like snot webs, like its webs look kind of green, and it
Yeah.
goes and like shoots stuff out, and it whistles. It goes, oh no, I can't even whistle. Tweet tweet like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's its feeding whistle. And there is a part where the spider crawls into the woman's mouth, and then you
And
see
you
it's
can actually see it come, like I thought it was gonna come right out, but
Mhm.
actually comes right down, and you that stomach where she's at the stomach part, the spider is like legit just pretty much poking it and just
Yep, exactly.
and then Matt's like, I think I'm gonna throw up.
I said that was more disgusting than anything in a violent nature by far.
I thought for sure you were gonna like throw up on that scene.
I was like, well, this topped that.
Yeah.
um and there's another really talented little girl actress, like just kind of like with Abigail. That kind of seems to be a trend nowadays, is they're casting these young girls in these horror movies, which hey, they're all really doing a great job, so
Right.
cool. But they name her Charlotte, which is funny because it's a spider and it's Charlotte's Web. And there's like a whole backstory with her mom and her stepdad, and it's actually kind of a sweet story about like the family and adjusting to like the new stepdad, and there's a baby in the house, and so there's this actually kind of really sweet family story going on at the same time too, while this giant spider goes around killing everything.
Right.
Sucks the parrot dry, made it look like it was like a Play-Doh sculpture or something.
I just really like how big the spider is.
Mm-hmm. It's like what, like a good
It,
like
it
a good
takes like
size,
the
like
whole
a
damn
Great
ceiling.
Dane. Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah, I
a
like that. I like that scene. I also like the scene where, well, the spiders are getting big at this point. I mean,
mm-hmm,
huge. And the spider was actually like on the ceiling, and
mm-hmm.
it was actually coming down and grabbing the baby.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
But it doesn't see like the spider taking the baby. It just comes
Mm.
down, and then the camera goes away, and then it comes back and the baby's gone.
Yep. And it's like what a creepy, like I mean, I don't have kids, but what a creepy thing for a parent to like have a spider come down, and I like that just seems like a primal like fear of
It's not scary, it's more disturbing more than anything else.
right, that makes sense. And this movie, another thing that seems to be happening a lot in horror movies lately, for better or worse, is that it kind of starts with the ending, and then it shows you like a little cool scene with a lot of cool stuff happens, and then it goes 4 days
Mhm.
earlier or whatever, or 24 hours earlier, and like Evil
So
Dead
it's like
Rise.
you gotta make sure you really, really pay attention
Yep.
to like the story. I'm like, oh, they're going this way and then they're going this one. Okay, 4 years later.
Yep, exactly. And then you see these characters in the beginning getting attacked by the spider, and then you're seeing them pop up like as they're telling the story, and you're like, oh, I know what's gonna happen to her, or hey, I don't remember seeing her later. I bet you she's gonna get killed, or you know.
Yeah.
But the poor exterminator, he had a rough life.
Yeah, he was trying to, well, beginning there was like, I think this like old lady was trying to,
Mhm.
get some bugs out, called exterminator. And this is like what fucking blizzard during the
Yeah.
blizzard. I was like, you're having a problem during this a blizzard. There's a snowstorm.
Yeah, exactly. That's
But
just
no,
called every day in Minnesota. That's just called a normal winter here.
facts. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was trying to, kill him too, and with the poison and even with the freaking gun, spray him with the gun. It's just nope, he's still living.
Yeah.
Spider.
Yup. Um, what else? There was like they get like encased in like well, because they say she's learning about spiders because she likes her pet spider, and then she's watching like a nature show, and they say that spiders paralyze their victims with their venom so that they're still alive when they eat them, and then they actually play that out in the movie a couple times where you see the person after they get
Yeah, in
bit
the
and their
like yeah, in
eyes
the
are
web.
yeah, and they're like in the web and their eyes are still moving back and forth, but they can't get away, and that's creepy,
Yeah, like I said,
unsettling.
it's like not really scary. It's just like it's creepy and disturbing, and I do like the how the blood splatter on the walls.
Oh yeah, there's a couple really cool ones.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
like dude.
Yeah.
How is that big spider get killed?
They well, they figure out it doesn't like mothballs. She complains early on that it doesn't like mothballs and she doesn't want to wear her the grandma's protected by the mothball sweater because the spider doesn't like it. But so they make water guns, like super soakers filled with mothball water, and they do all this kind of stuff. But ultimately, what ends up happening is they mush it in a big freaking was it like a
Yeah,
trash compactor or something?
yeah, like a big huge like cylinder block and just smashes,
Yeah.
and it's like it's still like kind of you can see the eyes go back and forth,
It's like
but yeah, but I think like at the end of the movie, I think it comes back to life. I think.
they show an egg hatching. They show another
Yeah,
egg
yeah, there you go.
hatching. Yeah.
So
So
there's gonna be Sting Part 2,
yes,
I hope.
I'm sure there will be.
Probably
Is
like more.
yeah.
Because that one was like the first one. This one's probably gonna be like two, maybe five, 10.
Maybe they'll make it stings with an S.
Oh yeah.
And then there'll be lots of spiders.
Yeah, it's a good one. I'll give that one about a 10.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Oh, 8.
Yep. Why not more? I don't know. No, it's
You just okay.
no, it
But
was
if you don't like spiders, do not watch it. Like really do not.
mhm. And it's
It
bloody and oh, sorry, go ahead.
it's they're huge and you probably want to have nightmares and you're probably like, oh my God,
Mm,
for people that don't
I
like
was just gonna
spiders.
say it's bloody and gory and not that bad. And then I remember just earlier we talked about how it made me more sick to my stomach than In a Violent Nature. So forget that comment. That was irrelevant.
Yeah.
Scratch that. But yeah, there's a couple parts where they see like he thinks there's a spider on it. It looks like a great big spider on his table, and he's like, oh, and then they show it again, and it's like a bunch of cords and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's a different part
It's
where it's like coming down, and she's like, ah, and then it's like a plant, and it's the shadow of the plant. A couple fake
yeah.
out scares like that.
I kind of wonder what is it like a black widow kind of spider? Because I think it does like a red mark on the butt,
Yeah, it does. It
black and white or black and red.
yeah, it's black and has a red mark on its butt, similar to a black widow.
Yeah.
So
So yeah.
what was the guy? There was the scientist guy or the fake scientist guy that was like dissecting fish. And he was the one that they ended up with the spider and kept feeding it to make it bigger. What was his? Did they explain what his goal was? What was he trying to prove? Did he just want to have?
Oh, that part. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't think they ever explained it.
No, I think it
But
was just continuously feeding it.
I think he was just nuts and just was like a weirdo and just was like, I want the spider to be huge and just kept feeding it because they showed him like he was dissecting fish or something, and then the girl was like, is he a scientist? And his parents are like, no, he's not a scientist, he's just a
Or
weirdo.
or maybe if I try to make it bigger and dissect The big spider.
That could be too. I'm just not sure what his end game was, or if he just really thought it was cool to have a giant spider in his house. He was gonna ride it with an
I mean,
axe, like their little comic.
I don't mind spiders, but when it comes to that fucking huge, I don't fucking think so.
Right.
I'm not scared of spiders, but if it's that fucking big, I'm getting out of here.
When it's the size of a go-kart coming in after
It was
you.
bigger than a go-kart. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
if anybody wants to see that, go for it. But if you're not into spiders, do not watch it, please.
right, exactly.
Not
Yeah,
for you.
I was gonna say I knocked it a couple points because it doesn't quite match the same level of intensity as like an Evil Dead Rise or a Terrifier. But some people don't want that much intensity, so this one's a little easier to go down. But except unless you don't like spiders, then it's not.
Right,
And I
right.
keep talking about how it's not so bad, but then earlier I said it made me throw up, or it almost made me throw up. So don't listen to me.
I
I don't know what the
like
hell I'm talking about. Listen to Breezy.
I like the more intense stuff. Like the
Right,
intensity, more disturbing, the more gore that I like, the more I freaking love the movie.
right, exactly.
Blood, action, freaking blood, intestines coming out. I love it.
Kind of off the topic, but what's the goriest kill you've ever can remember from any movie?
Oh, damn.
Put you on the spot.
Uh, I want to say like probably like the Terrifier when she's like hanging upside down and going right down the fucking middle. The
Yeah,
first
that
time
one's
I seen that, the first time I fucking seen that scene, I'm like, oh my God, ouch, ouch. As a woman, I was like, fuck.
yup.
Yeah, I was like, God fucking damn. But yes, that I want to say that scene for sure.
Yeah, that one's up there. That one's iconic for a reason.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen the movie Dead Alive with the zombies? Like there's the little monkey and it's old. It's probably from like
I have, but it's been a long, long time ago.
I just remember there's like a zombie woman eating soup or a zombie eating soup and then their nose falls off into the soup and then they pull up the spoon and the nose is in it and they eat it. That was
What the hell?
yeah.
Jeez. It ain't nothing.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah, that ain't shit.
yeah. Eating a nose. Come on.
Yeah.
Grow a pair for God's sake. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about Sting or In a Violent Nature or horror or anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. But if you see Violent Nature, it's kind of boring, so don't get all, hyped up.
Yeah,
And Sting, like I said before, the second time, third time now, if you do not like spiders, do not watch it.
right. I agree completely. I think In a Violent Nature was way overhyped. Still
Mhm.
cool to see, still worth watching if you're a horror fan, just to see the kind of unique spin on it. Sting, very cool. I'd compare Sting a little bit kind of like Abigail in the terms of sort of
Oh,
pace and
yeah.
speed and humor and that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching and listening. Please follow and subscribe. That helps us out a lot. You can also like the videos and you can share it with your friends. And you can be like me and tell random people at the gas station about Talk Bloody to Me and spread the word. All right. Thanks for
All
listening.
right.